Hello, and welcome to Rock the Cash Bar. I'm Ben Mowbray.
And I'm Dianne Gallagher.
Every week, we pick one song and do a deep dive into the lyrics and explore the different ways they've been interpreted.
We will also discuss how the song connected to us on a personal level, focusing on all the embarrassing details.
Glad to have you here. Now enjoy the show.
You're so gorgeous, I'll do anything. I'll kiss you from your feet to where your head begins. You're so perfect, you're so right as rain. You make me hungry again. Hi.
Hi, I jumped. I don't know if you guys jumped. I did not know he was going to do that.
How are you?
Good.
I think it's going to be that kind of day.
Oh, God. Okay, great.
I wanted to get that out of the way.
Okay. That's, what song is that? Why Can't I Be You?
That's Why Can't I Be You?
Yes. So what's funny is, like, by the time you guys are hearing this, you have heard the bumper that Chuck did for us with the music at the beginning. But he texted me today. He's like, I owe you a Cure song, don't I? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, but Ben and I aren't even recording till like 3. He's like, all right, I'll get it to you around 4 because it's mimosa day. He goes, don't worry, I record better when I'm drunk. So I can't wait to see how it turns out.
I hope Chuck puts on like the full like Cure makeup.
Really gets like into character. What do you call it? Method musician. That'd be great.
Doll yourself up, Chuck. It's the Cure Day on the Rock the Cash Bar podcast.
I've been waiting patiently.
We've been holding off.
Yeah.
Like, we're not musical experts. We're not music people.
No.
We don't go to live shows all the time. We can't tell you anything technically about how you write songs or what kind of instruments they're playing or what goes into any of it. And so we kind of like have to pick music that's off of kind of out of our comfort zone sometimes, like we did with Beyonce.
Right.
But this is right in our wheelhouse.
Yes.
Like this, Rock the Cash Bar would entirely be the Cure, Depeche Mode, 80s new wave.
If we weren't at all concerned with like broadening our listeners, we would just do 80s new wave, I think.
100%.
This whole podcast would be like 1985 to 1995, like new wave music, yeah.
We spent some time texting back and forth. Okay, well, which Cure song should we do? Like, I really like the Love Cats. I really love A Forest. There's a couple of weird, like Torture or Catch. We could do the whole Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss. I know.
The whole Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, yeah.
This is, I know it's sacrilege. What's your favorite Cure album?
I'm gonna go with the first one that I bought, and I'm gonna go with Disintegration.
Yeah.
Is that yours?
No.
Oh.
No, I know it's blasphemy. I know it makes me Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me is absolutely my favorite Cure. I don't even think about it.
It's a great one.
I don't think about it, and I don't really listen. I've talked to Cure fans who are just like, it's gotta be Disintegration. It has to be.
Really? I didn't know people felt that way, because I felt like real Cure friends, yes, and fans would like to go earlier, like 17 Seconds and some of the older stuff.
Yeah.
To be like a true Cure fan, because honestly, Disintegration kind of put them on the world map, I think. But
it's still, I mean, Disintegration really does have some of their really, really big songs. It's where most of the world met them. It's almost like, it kind of reminds me of like the James Bond debate, where it's just like Sean Connery is the best James Bond. We're arguing about number 2.
That's true.
That's what I get from most Cure fans. Just like, oh, you're just not picking Disintegration because you want to be cool. Like, if I wanted to be cool, why would I pick Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's where this song came that we're doing today. Have we mentioned we're doing Just Like Heaven?
Just Like Heaven.
All right, so I always have a hard time picking my favorite Cure song, and I argue with myself, and I backtrack, and I go back and forth, like, I feel like we just said, like, you know, this song that we're Just Like Heaven to me is just always number one. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? I think there's other songs that I like more. Like, I love the song called To the Sky it got a lot of radio play, but it just, people don't know it. But it's a gorgeous Cure song. And then I get really, like, if I'm driving in my car and Pictures of You come on, I'm like, this is it. This is the best Cure song. But then if I'm driving in my car and Close to Me comes on, I'm like, oh God, I think that, or Love Song. But honestly, every single time I hear this song, my whole body feels this overall confidence in saying, yeah, but this is your favorite.
Yeah, because it describes the emotion that you want to live in.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. That's why, like, when people say that The Cure is girly or the gothicness is corny or Robert Smith is too old to be teasing his hair and putting on makeup and everything. Like, yeah, but he wrote Just Like Heaven.
Yes.
And that's the emotion that I want to live inside. Like, to me, I don't like it when music is too angry because that's boring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know, when it's too sad. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what attracted me to The Cure, is that kind of like, oh, it's bumpy and it's emotional, but it's still, I mean, it just puts a great big smile on my face.
He can do both so well. He can wallow with the best of them, and then he can be so joyful in his music.
Yeah.
Like this is the most joyful, peppiest song. I mean, the only one that's maybe more peppy is Friday I'm in Love. Which you love.
The Love Cats is very peppy.
The Love Cats is bonkers peppy.
There's that big moment in doing the Unstuck when that song really opens up. Like that's like a goal celebration. Like that feels like Stanley Cup final game 7.
It does. It feels like I want to take the Nestea plunge when that happens. Like back into a pool. Let's Go to Bed. That do 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 do. Yeah, I mean, The Cure, people see them who don't know their music, they see them as this like moody band that had a video in a cave, and I'm like, you don't know their music. They're happy.
Yeah, it's the goofy joy that kept me with them. You know, like I would come there. It's like a good friend who's always like such a great laugh, but every now and again they're just like, now let me tell you a little bit about my sadness. Like, come in.
Let me tell you. I'm gonna read a poem.
We'll have a quiet drink, Robert, and then we'll get back to being the real you.
Yeah.
Like when I think of Robert Smith, this is what you can't tease your hair like that, and you can't put on that lipstick and that makeup without having a sense of humor about yourself.
Exactly.
Like.
Without being a fun guy, because, yeah, I mean, you'd have to make fun of yourself. Do you know what Robert Smith's favorite song is? What he deems their best song?
I don't.
It's this one.
It's this one? It's Just Like Heaven?
It's Just Like Heaven. He said it's his favorite song.
That's weird, because it's at least in my mind, I could be wrong, but I think this has got to be The Cure's biggest hit.
I think for a long time, especially in America.
Well, I guess maybe Friday I'm in Love probably charted higher, but
I think definitely at the time when this came out, it hit top 40 in America, and I think this like kind of put them on the world map for sure.
Right. You want to get into the lyrics?
Yes, let's do it.
It's going to be hard not to do the Robert Smith accent. I'm going to try. We'll give it a go.
Okay.
Show me, show me, show me how you do that trick. The one that makes me scream, she said. The one that makes me laugh, she said, and threw her arms around my neck. Show me how you do it, and I promise that I'll run away with you. So I'm a young man, probably 13 or 14, hearing this song for the first time in 93 or 94. I don't remember hearing it on the air.
I mean, it was on the air before we were listening to music on the radio.
Yeah, but I think that first verse, like this had to be the first Cure song that I heard. And that first verse, like, obviously, I mean, come on. Like I'm a young man. I don't know anything about women. I don't know anything about ladies. I'm shy and awkward around them. And then here's this, like, you can almost see her, like looking up at him, just like, show me how you do it, Robert.
She's
like,
swooning over him.
And I'm listening to this thinking, can you, when you're done showing her, can you show me too? That sounds like something I might want to know.
How do I make the lady swoon for me?
I want to make her scream and laugh.
So what he says is, hold on, let me see on my notes. Show me, show me, show me, I do that trick. Refers to his childhood memories of mastering magic tricks, but added on another level, it's about a seduction trick from much later in my life.
Oh, he's a magician. He can't be trusted.
What's the trick? What's the trick?
I'm always really suspicious around magicians. Like I really admire, like I'm really into performers and people who know how to do like incredibly weird stuff. Anybody who's put in like their Gladwell 10,000 hours, whatever they're doing, you know, whether it's bartending or circus performing or magicians. Like I really admire it, but I'm still really suspicious of magicians. Because it's like it really is deception.
It really is.
Like you're sitting there going, I can fool you.
Yep.
And you use the dark parts of the stage instead of doing like the real performer thing. Like this is a thing that I can do. Put the brightest light on me. The magician's like, nah, I'll be in the background. I'll be in the shadows.
They're creepy. They're creepy in that way.
Mm-hmm. Spinning on that dizzy edge, I kissed her face. I kissed her head. I dreamed of all the different ways I had to make her glow. Why are you so far away, she said. Why won't you ever know that I'm in love with you? That I'm in love with you. And I think it's this verse that kicks the song up to another level. Because it could be like in the first verse, like that's new love, right? That's that these two people met on a dance floor. They met in a hotel lobby masturbating to a magazine.
Oh, God.
But in that second verse, it's like you could, but seriously, but you could see it like, why are you so far away?
Yeah.
Like I've been in relationships that have been years long, like where you know, or you think you know just about everything about that person and how they're living their life. And then like you can you'll have that question, like, why is there this distance?
Yeah.
That's what makes this timeless.
Where are you mentally? And I always found that to be a strange line in this song because I thought this song was just about two people like super duper in love. And then this line, why are you so far away? It's like, wait. Why isn't he just right there with her in this? Why is he far away? Why is he distant?
I think it's because it's like if you're really in love, then you're constantly seeking each other. Like you're constantly looking for that other side. And that can be comfortable or uncomfortable.
Right.
Like it's really, I don't mean to like dive. It's The Cure. We have to talk about our emotions, right?
Yeah.
I don't mean to just jump into the deep end here. But I think that like no matter how long your relationship goes on, no matter how well you know each other, no matter how many bills you pay together, how many breakfasts you've made for each other, how many children you have together, there's always that part of you that's like seeking like, what are you thinking? What are you doing?
Right.
Why are you running away from me right now?
Right. And that's true. And I think it's an ebb and flow with people too. Like sometimes one person will be doing it in the relationship and then another time another one is. And I think it's just our natural human need for a little bit of balance. Like I'll give so much of me to you and then it's like, I need to pull back for a second and remember who I am. And then that makes the other person kind of freak out a little bit. Like, where are you going? Where are you going?
Yeah.
You know?
Like, why do you need a break from me?
Yeah. What'd I do? Are you mad? Are you cheating? We can fix this.
Oh, there's probably a lot of couples in quarantine. They're going through something very similar to that right now.
Oh, for sure.
We're out of eggs. I'm going to go get eggs. I have to do it right now.
Yes.
You, soft and only. You, lost and lonely. You, strange as angels. I love that line.
I know.
Strange as angels. Dancing in the deepest oceans, twisting in the water. You're just like a dream. You're just like a dream.
You're just like a dream.
That was the first time I heard this song, or when I first like really, really fell in love with this song and The Cure. That was what I really latched onto. That became like my aspirational lovey feeling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, backing up to the that I'm in love with you, that I'm in love with you. Mm-hmm. I just remember, I mean, this was my favorite song along with all my little girlfriends. And when this song would come on, just imagine a bunch of teenage girls bursting up, because it is very much a dance song, and dancing. And every girl all the time throws her head back and puts her hands over her heart and is like, 'cause I'm in love with you. Like, we just like love singing that along with him.
Yeah.
But okay, so yours is Strange as Angels, Dancing in the Deepest Oceans.
I just like Strange as Angels because I'm a word nerd.
Yeah.
I just really like Strange as Angels.
Strange
yeah, good.
as
3 words conveys a lot. Dancing in the deepest oceans, twisting in the water. You're just like a dream. You're just like a dream.
Those lines are really just fun off your mouth, through your lips, through your teeth. It's fun to say, like the way he says, you strange as angels, dancing in the deepest oceans, twisting in the water, you're just like a dream. That's like, yeah, that's everyone's favorite part of the song to sing.
Yeah, because it's right after that the piano line comes in like super strong, and it's a weird, like it gives you that, this is what I love about music like this, is like it gives you the butterflies in your stomach.
Yeah.
Like I don't get that from music that doesn't embrace these kinds of squishy emotions.
Right, yeah.
Like it won't happen for me. Like I need this.
They can give me, other songs can give me different emotions, like my Playa Playa, where I feel like a black badass. Like, that's different. That's just fun. But this, like, everybody wants these butterfly emotions.
Yeah, this is how I want to feel all the time.
Yeah.
The Cure is weird to me. Like I remember when I first bought, and I was fully in love with Just Like Heaven, but the first time I bought the Kiss Me, Kiss Me album, like this is kind of bad, but it's almost the way I feel when I hold a bottle of whiskey. Or I'm looking at it just like, you got to be careful with this shit, man.
My
like,
delicate baby right here.
You got a problem with this. It fucks you up in a way that you like maybe too much. Like, how about we just listen to 2 or 3 songs and then put it away for the night?
Yeah, would you get like drunk on it? Like putting this in your, I don't know, your Casio and your headphones.
Yep.
And like, I could do that with music. I was an only child. I had time to myself. I could easily go into my room, lay down on my waterbed, because I had a waterbed, and put on my music on my headphones and listen to like a Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me album all the way through a few times. Mm-hmm. Like I could get it done.
Yep. Yeah. I used to listen to it on a loop.
Yep.
Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me was playing in my car for years. Alone. Daylight licked me into shape.
Things have changed now. The dream is over. Is this what's happening? Daylight licked me into shape.
I must have been asleep for days, and moving lips to breathe her name, I opened up my eyes and found myself alone, alone, alone above a raging sea that stole the only girl I loved and drowned her deep inside of me. You, soft and only, you, lost and lonely, you are just like heaven.
Such a good song.
Yeah, I think he's dreaming. Like, I think the story of the song is that he's imagining his perfect love. He's imagining his perfect reaction. Mm-hmm. I mean, that really is, like, it's kind of difficult for me to understand, like, maybe this song gave me these feelings, but this is what I think is the male ideal of meeting a woman, is like, you're making her laugh, you're making her scream, and she's begging you to explain your secret.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
And she's throwing her arms, like, she's just smitten. Men want women to be, like, wide-eyed and smitten with them.
Yeah.
Especially in here, and like, this was when I put out a clue for today's song. The picture is it's called Beachy Head. Mm-hmm. It's in South London. I gotta look at my notes. Not South London. Where is it?
I think it looked very much to me like the White Cliffs of Dover.
It looked like it, but I can't remember if it's the exact same place.
It's where pure pirate country.
Him and his real then girlfriend, Mary Poole, who became his wife, had actually gone there. And that's where he got the inspiration for this song. It was like a wonderful date that they had there on these cliffs. Mm-hmm. And so that's in his dream, is like this wonderful day they spent there where his like girlfriend was just smitten with him and giggling and... Mm-hmm. And then, like, it's a very dreamy... In the video, she's spinning with him.
Yeah, I guess it could be... Like, I was pretty sure that it was... The whole thing about the song is he's got this ideal love, and then he wakes up and realizes that it isn't true, that he's living in his own fantasies, that his own fantasies are probably better than anything that he's actually going to be able to experience in reality.
Right.
And that's why he's saying that I drowned her deep inside of me. It's like, no woman is going to be as good as my fantasy. So this idea that I'm creating in my own raging sea is going to affect my reality.
It seems like everyone can relate to that. I mean, don't we all, like, say you like someone, but you haven't met them yet, or you haven't, like, been in a relationship with them, and you have all these ideas of who they're going to be and like what it's going to be like, which is never, ever, ever close to any, being true, because people are their own, like...
And you get a little secretly angry at them for not being able to live up to your own...
Yeah, or like even just letting yourself down and being like, why did I let myself do that? Why did I let myself build up this character of them? And do all people do that, or is it just creatives? Because sometimes I feel like it's just creatives that can really go into our minds and develop a character. That's why we become writers on shows and stuff, because we can get deep in our imagination and develop a character of a perfect person.
I think everybody does it. It's just that creative people like sit down and try to write songs or write plays and things, and so they start using those emotions.
Yeah.
I think people who don't do that probably just like to have a drink.
Yeah.
Or listen to a song like Just Like Heaven and sort of process it that way, and then they're done with it.
Okay.
Like, they're not trying to make anything out of it. They're trying to get away from that emotion. They're not trying to make something out of it. Yeah.
Interesting.
But I don't know, it just occurred to me now that it could very well be that he's looking back on this perfect day. Mm-hmm. It's the Lou Reed perfect day, where he wants to get back there. Like now you're in a relationship, you're a couple of years in. Robert Smith doesn't have any kids, but like I could certainly see, a couple of years after this perfect day at Beachy Head, and he's going like, why can't we go back there? Exactly.
So here's what I have. According to Smith, the song is about hyperventilating, kissing, and fainting to the floor. The lyrics were inspired by a trip with his then girlfriend and later wife, Mary Poole, to Beachy Head in southern England. Smith said the opening line of the song, "Show me, show me, show me," refers to his childhood memories. I already said this about the magic, and he added about, a seduction trick. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's kind of like his memory of like a perfect date he had with her. Mm-hmm. And it's like, in every relationship you want to get back to the honeymoon phase and you can't. Yeah. You can't.
I like him when he gushes like that. Like that's a quote that he gave to a magazine or something like that.
Right.
That's just the words coming out of him. But in some Cure songs, like you can feel he's doing that anyway. Mm-hmm. Like just like Heaven is thoughtful and it rhymes and it's got a scheme. But what song is the song Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me? But I think it's The Kiss. Where he's just bellowing out, just love me, love me, love me, yes, and nail me to the floor and squeeze my guts out.
Yes.
And the way the song sounds, like I don't think that's written in a notebook anywhere. I think he was just playing the music and just wailed that and went, go print it.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, God, I want to just do every Cure song. They're so fun, and he's so fun, and he's so funny. Like, they just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I wish I had done my research better, but he had a quote that just kind of went viral about somebody was really excited, like interviewing, like super excited about him getting a Hall of Fame. Like, are you excited? And he said something like, not as much as you are. Or something. like it was just very Robert. It was awesome.
I didn't know. I asked you on another episode, like, can you name another member of The Cure other than Robert Smith?
And I told you Simon.
Yeah,
Simon Gallup.
Yeah.
And then Boris. I forgot about Boris.
I would never have known. Yeah. I didn't know that The Cure was one of those bands that were kind of like scrolling through members
constantly.
Like I guess they had 13 members who would like have songwriting credits or sleeve credits or something.
Right.
And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will only induct 10 members.
Oh shit.
And that's probably like the Black Sabbath rule.
Yeah. Right.
It's like there's 47 members of Black Sabbath. We can't we'll crush the stage.
Yeah, I guess you have to divvy it out, like, like look at their timesheet. Like, how much time did you spend with us? Okay, the top 10 go in.
I was reading a little bit about it, and I don't know much about The Cure's history. I just love their music. I didn't want to delve too deeply into it. But like all of the members that got kind of spit out of The Cure, it was because their relationship with Robert Smith just decayed to a point where they couldn't get along.
Really? Do you think he's hard to get along with?
I don't think. Well, I wouldn't, and I'm not basing this on any stories that I've read. I wouldn't think that he's hard to get along with. Like, I don't think he's confrontational or a drunk or anything like that.
Right.
But I do think that he's got to be like a real perfectionist. Like, no, play it the way it sounds in my head.
Yeah.
And he's also like, he plays keyboards and guitars, and I didn't know he played for the Banshees. Did you know that?
No, I mean, I knew that they were close and friends, but I didn't know he actually played for them.
That took me completely by surprise. Yeah, he was the lead guitarist for Susie and the Banshees.
When?
In the early 80s. Like, as The Cure was sort of taking hold, they were opening for Susie and the Banshees. And then I think it was in Aberdeen, Scotland. The lead guitarist of Susie and the Banshees just abruptly quit. Probably because he couldn't stand another day in Aberdeen. I don't blame him. I'm going home. Robert Smith stepped up and started playing lead guitars.
For a year, an album?
Yeah, for I think a couple of albums and a couple of tours.
How did I not know this?
It took me by surprise too.
God damn it, Diane. Get your shit together.
You can't know everything. There are things you shouldn't know.
Well, I have always appreciated how much he loved Mary, and obviously he wrote a lot of songs about her. And I was reading somewhere, like, for this album, and especially this song, the girls would come into the recording studio and sit on the couch and listen and, like, give them marks, like, yes to this song, yes and no, and they all loved this one. Mm-hmm. And his wife, Mary, she's in the video for Just Like Heaven. She's just kind of like, you can't really see her face. She's just the one that's spinning with him on this cliff, and it's kind of blurry. And she's the only female that has been featured in any Cure video ever.
That's really surprising.
I know, right?
Because all of their songs are about love. And
yeah.
I mean, like, for as effeminate as Robert Smith looks, and I never really took him as effeminate.
I didn't either.
I did, like, I know that, like, with the hair and the lipstick, like, I never took him as a guy like being androgynous. I always took him as like, no, you just found another way into a lady's heart, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I always was super attracted to him as a man, and so were all my friends. Like something about it that my mom couldn't understand, and maybe this generation won't understand, but like that look in the like new wave generation did not mean gay. I mean, like, so it was a hot thing for guys to do, to wear eyeliner and the crazy hair and the lipstick. I mean, I dated guys who wore eyeliner and lipstick and are not gay. So I don't know. It was just like we were all heavily attracted to him physically. Like,
are you ready for some ignorant cisgendered male questions?
Sure.
When like how would you how would you like graph your attraction to Robert Smith?
Now or then?
I guess like presumably like you want Brad Pitt in Thelma and Louise or Fight Club with his rippling abs and his pecs to come and ravage you.
You know what's weird?
Take off his cowboy hat and go, Dianne, give me what I want.
Maybe, okay, I can't speak for all women like this. And like, here's another thing about girls like me who liked music like this. I was never attracted to the guy in school that all the other girls were attracted to. Like, I was never... Like you said, the Brad Pitt with the muscles and all that stuff, like sometimes I just equated that to a personality I didn't like. So it made me almost physically turned off by it. Right. Like if a guy took off a shirt and he had just like guns and ripped abs, I think I would kind of shut down because I'm like, here comes an asshole. Like it really wired my brain differently. I was always more attracted to, and I didn't even look at like body. I looked at face and personality. I was big into face, hair, personality. Like I was never attracted to Brad Pitt until Interview with the Vampire. And boy, was I. Like my thing was I liked Johnny Depp a lot because he fit that profile.
Right. Well, Johnny Depp has that like natural like Johnny Depp vulnerability to it. And then in Interview with the Vampire, Brad Pitt is kind of like he's submitting to Tom Cruise.
Right. And he's got those green vampire eyes that just look good on him. I like the face. I don't care about like the body. I don't care. So the Cure would have been like, are we going 1 to 10?
Yeah, sure.
Like if we're on a scale, like for me as a teenager, Johnny Depp is 10. There's no beating Johnny Depp. I liked Johnny Depp a whole lot. And River Phoenix, those are my 10s. Robert's like maybe 7 or 8, but like his talent is what I liked more than physical, the way he looks. But I did like the way he looked. I liked his face a lot. So it's pretty high.
I was kind of thinking like on the scale of like Axl Rose is going to tear your clothes off in the dressing room, but Robert Smith is going to braid your hair.
I didn't want my clothes torn off. I don't like violence. I'm going to go with Robert Smith. I want to talk about it afterwards. Because Axl's going to bang you and then he's not going to call you. Robert's going to talk to you. He's going to do pillow talk.
Oh, he's definitely going to
He's going to be there making you breakfast in the morning. That's what I wanted.
Your scrambled eggs and your red wine are ready. I always thought of the Cure as being very brave because they come out of London in the late 70s. So they're coming out like this is after AC/DC has stormed out of there. It's after the Clash has stormed out of there. It's after the Sex Pistols have come out. And then here comes Robert Smith with his weird cockatoo voice.
Whiny voice.
Yeah. And his strange ethereal musical landscapes. You know, like and he's coming out of the same clubs. Like, right. Could you imagine I don't know if it ever happened, but they're close enough in time that maybe you could imagine it. Like could you imagine like Joe Strummer and Robert Smith?
I don't know, maybe because even though the Cure's music sounds the way it does, like one of the Cure's like favorite idols and bands is what's wrong with me? Hey, Jimi Hendrix. Like, he likes harder music, but he plays a different type of music. But I don't know, because at the same time, you still have bands like Joy Division and Susie and the Banshees. He had his people. Yeah. Like, that music was still happening. Maybe it wasn't jumping into mainstream, but they had their group making music like this, you know? So I don't know if it's too brave, but
I think it is because, and maybe I'm looking at it really wrong, but like it seems like so much of rock music or rock songs come from like the binary of like this is a song about how much I want to fuck and this is a song about how much I want to fight.
Right.
And that's kind of all there was to it. And it looked to me like Robert Smith was among the first people to like once you get past like romantic songs and torch ballads, he was the one to kind of get past and look into the subtleties of the emotion, right? Or the subtleties of the way that a man feels,
right?
Like, because it's not just one or the other.
And he did it so differently than, say, AC/DC never had a ballad. That's why Corbin argues they're the best rock band of all time. Not one ballad, not one slow song. But other rock bands would have a ballad, like here's our softer side, but they're still screaming it a lot of times. They are not doing it the way Robert's doing it.
Yeah, because it's almost like he refused to be afraid. Like, he must have taken so much criticism from the other music boys.
Maybe.
Like, what are you doing? What is this image? This is ridiculous.
Probably.
But it's like, I
don't think he cared.
I don't think he did either.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he ever looked back on it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have kept making that music. It's a weird thing to think of, like...
He smeared it in their faces even harder.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd never let up.
Yeah. It's weird to think of, like, showing your emotions as rebellion.
Yeah.
Like, I think of rebellion as, like throwing Molotov cocktails and punching walls and things like that. And here's Robert Smith just going, just try to describe the emotions as you're feeling them.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's just you're not American, you're Canadian, but... the American way of looking at things, because I think in general in the UK, they are more in touch with their feelings. They are more, they've got Bowie and they've, a lot of music like that we love all came from the UK. It's like they were allowed to feel their feelings, where Americans are supposed to suck it up and be harder. I don't know.
Yeah, or they're just they're making more room for themselves. Like, I don't know where it comes from, but because the English very much have the stiff upper lip. Like, showing your emotions in England is not a good thing. It's
that's bizarre. Why does all of our feel good new wave music come from there? Then is it the rebellion against the stiff upper lip?
Maybe it's like comparing the cultures. Like, in America, if an American man wants to show his emotions, then it's time to fight. Then it's time to get angry. Mm-hmm. In England, because you're not allowed to show any emotion whatsoever, it's almost like the light coming under the door in a way. Mm-hmm. It's just like instead of anger being the first emotion to come up, maybe it is love, maybe it is humor, maybe it is the kind of the goofy songs that Robert Smith could put together.
Do you wish you would have grown up in the UK?
I wish that I had the accent.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I was telling my mom and dad a couple of days ago that the only thing that I'm ever really resentful for them for was throwing away their good albums. Yeah. We're raising kids, we can't have the Rolling Stones hanging around. But also, like kind of deep below that, it's I'd really like to have an English accent.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I really wish I did.
My friends, Chris and Mary Beth, they thought it would be so cute if their kids had an English accent, so they considered talking in an English accent around their kids. Yeah. And so that their kids would have it. But then they were like, wait, but our kids wouldn't have an English accent. They'd have an American faking an English accent.
I think I did have something of an English accent when I first started going to school, kindergarten.
Really?
When I was really young. Yeah, because my dad's from Ireland and my mom's from England.
Yeah.
So I must have, when I learned to talk, I was learning their speech patterns.
Right.
But I remember going to school and, finding out really kind of emotionally, violently, that it's pronounced vitamin, not vitamin. Not vitamin.
Yeah.
No.
Aluminium. Did they do aluminium?
Aluminium? Yeah, we definitely did that one. There was a couple of course corrections that I remember when I was really young.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, when I moved down here from Canada, I think I changed my accent twice.
Wow.
In my life, from English to Canadian, and then from Canadian to Texan in a matter of 24 hours.
So we make fun of Corbin because his dad is from New York and has a strong New York accent. But Corbin was born in Lubbock and, raised in Texas. But within one sentence, Corbin's accent can bounce.
Yeah.
Really country and really New York. He says coffee and sausage.
Yep.
But he'll say, what kind of... I'm fixing to go to the store. What kind of coffee and sausage y'all want? I mean, it flips so crazy where you're like, oh, what's happening?
Does the New York come out when he gets emotional?
No, probably more Texas. It's just some words that he can't say in a Texas way, like coffee and sausage. He's always going to say like his dad says.
Yes. I find when I'm angry or any kind of emotional extreme that I start aping my dad's Northern Irish accent.
Really?
Yeah. It's just because I'm reflecting on this is my idea of masculinity. That's where it comes from.
Got it.
I'm trying to be a man in this moment.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's so interesting. I have one question for you that I thought of while I was thinking about, our childhood and how much we love new wave music. And I think about a friend of mine who was born and raised in East Texas, and this music was available, but no one listened to it. Everyone listened to country. Everyone they knew listened to country or pop. Do you think if you had been, say, born and raised in East Texas or somewhere else, that you would have found this and still been drawn to it?
I like to think so.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Because I remember the world I was living in as like 10-year-olds. I told the story before. I was into like New Kids on the Block or whatever because I had never heard this. And the minute it hit my ears, I was like, fuck everything else. This is what I like.
Yeah, it's just ear candy.
Yeah.
And then but it has nutrients. You know, like I don't know how else to describe it. It's like if you could make a Snickers bar out of kale.
Yeah, it was the first music to me that had substance, and I didn't even understand as a young kid that I needed substance in my music.
Like, it's like I would love to be the kind of guy who can like quote like long swaths of Shakespeare or William Wordsworth, or I wish I had like my favorite Gabriel Garcia Marquez passage, but I don't. Like I have Cure songs. Yeah. Like I can turn up the Cure and dance with you about it. I'm trying to communicate the same thing.
Yep.
It's just it's a great palette that Robert Smith was painting with.
I have a fun fact on July 16th, 2006, Just Like Heaven was played as a wake-up call for the crew of Space Shuttle Discovery on their flight STS-121 at the request of astronaut Piers Sellers' family. Sellers told Mission Control Center that the song reminded him of the wild, happy, beer-drinking years of my youth.
What?
Isn't that great? I had no idea.
That's what it reminds me of, too. Like, there's certain songs that are just, like screaming down the freeway bangers to me.
Yes.
And Just Like Heaven is one of those. Like,
oh, man. It makes me so happy. The first drum beats of the song all the way to the end. I mean, the song has just high energy, high happy feelings all the way to the end.
It's got to be magic to like have. I don't know how songs get written. Like, are you jamming? Like is it like the guitar player had that great sliding guitar line, or is it?
He had the music to this first, and he gave it to a commercial or a TV show, and then the lyrics came later. So this was a jam without lyrics first, for sure.
God, that would have been great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what are you just sitting there just like jamming just like one day? I don't know how music works. I don't know how. I'll have to have my friend Michelle or any other musicians we know that to come on and be like, how does it work? Are you just fiddling with your instrument and you just find something like, that's catchy?
And are you like what's it like? This is magical. Like, you have to be looking at the other 4 or 5 people in the room and just going, we did it. Like, did you tell me you got that on the record?
Yeah. I can kind of understand it, like, and I don't care if you make fun of me. When I did improv, there would be times when you're doing a herald or you're doing a scene where the way that long form improv is set up, someone comes out and does a monologue, and the people in the back row are like listening just for a word, something to trigger a scene starter. You're just trying to start the scene. And then, 2 people come out and you do a scene, and when that scene has reached its peak, it's called swiping or sweeping the scene. And then 2 more people come out and start a completely new scene. And then the third set of people come out and do a completely new scene. And then what's supposed to happen magically is when the second round of all the scene comes on, anyway, it all wraps up and you have callbacks to the first scenes, and then they all tie together in this magic, beautiful way that the audience is like, how the fuck did you do that on the spot? It's got to be the same feeling when you just hit a song and you're like, yes!
This was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if anybody's been, like, if any band has ever been wrong about that. Like, if they've had that magical moment, it's gone, this is it, this is perfect, and then release the song as a single, and it just doesn't go anywhere.
I think
critics hate it.
I think it does. I think it happens a lot, and what pisses bands off a lot is a song that they didn't like and didn't want to put out ends up being their huge hit. Like, apparently, Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses didn't like it. Or Slash hated it. And I'm like, what? What? That intro is the best of all time.
I could see him like hating the idea behind the song. Like, Axl's going to sing about she's got
a lovely girl,
the bluest. And like, okay, we're not doing the ballad thing. Like, I could totally see Slash going, okay, we're going to do it, but
listen, I'm going to start it like this.
Here come the licks.
Yeah, I think it happens a lot where you think this is your banger, and then there people respond. I think Tina Turner hated What's Love Got to Do with It. She hated the song. Where you're like, what?
What? Yeah, well, that song, we should probably do that one someday, because obviously that's loaded with it. But yeah, I could see her just like, no, this is too revealing, or what's going to be the repercussions of releasing this song?
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere that who did Come On Feel the Noise.
Twisted Sister?
Is it Twisted? No, it's
No, Come On Feel the Noise is
Quiet Riot.
Quiet Riot.
Yeah.
I always get those two bands confused for some reason.
Apparently, they hated that song. That was a label thing.
Wow.
And they're like, no, this is your single.
Sometimes you gotta trust the label because they're right.
Like, we know these things. Did you read about his feud with Morrissey?
No, tell me all about it because these are my band. Okay, so The Cure, Depeche Mode, Morrissey, Erasure. Those are like my top 4 of all time, and I love how they get all integrated and mushy.
Oh, did he fight with Morrissey?
Was it like words?
Yeah, just word fighting. I don't think Morrissey and Robert Smith are gonna throw down fisticuffsmanship style anytime soon.
Although I put my money on Robert.
I would put my money on Robert too.
Yeah,
I think I would. But I would think that Morrissey's, like if it was in public, in a bar or something like that, I would think that the people who love Morrissey would have Morrissey's back a lot stronger than the people who have Robert Smith's back.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just kind of feel like I think that there are like proper tough people that secretly listen to Morrissey. Okay. I don't think that there's anybody who's like really physically rough that secretly listens to The Cure.
Yeah, that's a good question because I think about like my high school, people who, you know, maybe you call them the preps or the jocks. Whenever Just Like Heaven would come on, they all knew the lyrics. It was such a good popular song. But if you played, you know, Meet As Murder, they don't know Morrissey lyrics as well. Like he never became as mainstream in the U.S. as The Cure did. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think some jocks would buck up for Robert. Well, I don't know. That's a good question.
I would throw in for Robert. I would, but I am not a physically rough fella. Like, I don't know how much help I would be for Bobby.
Right.
Apparently, I think it's NME magazine.
Okay.
It was New Music Experience. It's like the Rolling Stone of England.
Okay.
They asked Morrissey in the early 80s, like if you were in a room with Robert Smith, somebody else whose last name was Smith, and a Smith & Wesson pistol with one bullet, who are you going to shoot first?
Well, that's leading the witness. Okay.
It's totally leading the witness, yeah. But apparently Morrissey said, I would line up Robert Smith and the other guy and make sure that the bullet went through them both.
He's just trying to answer the question well. Okay, so how did Robert respond to this?
He responded that Morrissey is so miserable if he doesn't off himself soon, I'm going to. And then it's off to the races from there.
I wonder if they were just having fun banter, the way they say it. Like,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Well, Morrissey's such a pissy shithead. I can see him taking it serious and Robert being like, I'm just going to fuck with this guy.
I really think it's just like when guys are trying to, it's a turf war.
Yeah.
Like they're both trying to, they're playing in each other's sandbox. Like they're both trying to have the sad crown.
And to be fair, they are both such wonderful lyricists. I mean, like, I just want to see this witty banter go back and forth until they die because they're both so good at it.
Morrissey at one point called Robert Smith a fat clown crying over a guitar.
It's not wrong. But he just does it really well.
In it's a pretty famous interview that Morrissey gave like 2 years ago, where he's talking about the UKIP party and Britain First and all like Brexit stuff, and basically the English version of Trumpism.
Right.
And Morrissey's kind of in favor of that. He's an English nationalist. Yeah. And he gave the quote that got so much airtime, where he said that everybody feels more comfortable around their own race. Like it's only natural. Like, and that's where. That was honestly where I drew the line with Morrissey. I was like, I'm tired of that. I just can't do it anymore, man.
I mean, we've always known he's a dipshit and like mean, but his music was just so good you forgave it. But and he's always hated Americans. He's always hated us, and we still flock to his concerts, and he still performs for us and takes our money. You know,
because he's doing something that nobody else is. And it's kind of difficult. We're just like, I just have to give it up. Like, I wish I didn't have to, but you kind of forced me to do it. Anyway, but in that interview, he sort of apologized to Robert Smith. He was just like, because they asked him, what are your regrets about your career? Do you have any like little regrets that you want to come up with? And in a typical Morrissey quote, he was just like, oh, I like to make sure that my regrets are very large. I don't like to have small regrets.
That's awesome.
But then he said that 30, 35 years ago, he said some things about Robert Smith that he regrets. So I guess that was like a burying of the hatchet between those two guys.
Well, that's nice. Are there pictures of them ever in the same room, or?
Robert Smith says that they've never met.
Oh, okay.
But there's a story that Morrissey has told about them being in the same bar. Okay. And apparently Robert Smith was doing the mean mugging. Just kind of like glaring at him, like, you want a piece of this?
See you.
Yeah, and then nothing ever came of it, which kind of squares with the way I think of both of those men.
Right.
Like, I got this bad blood, but we're not going to deal with it at all.
No, I mean, it's more fun just to have rumors spreading through magazines. That's way more of a fun way to deal with it. Like, let's fight with our words, not an actual person. Yeah.
I wanted to get into like a rap style, like diss track battle.
You do want to?
I would love if that had happened.
Make it an album.
Wouldn't it be great, like, if Big Mouth Strikes Again was about Robert Smith? Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Oh, that would be really fun. What song of The Cure's could be about his?
I don't know.
I don't know, because most of Robert's songs are
The Spider-Man?
Maybe. I'm thinking of like this one song where he says poison a lot, but that was about a girl.
That's...
Your lips are like poison or whatever.
That's the Kiss. Yeah.
That's the Kiss. Yeah. I think that song's just now in my head.
That whole album is stuck in my head now. I was listening. I was doing a little bit of research on it. I was watching a YouTube video of The Cure playing "Just Like Heaven" at the 1989 MTV Video Music Awards, and then right under it was a video by just somebody on YouTube called Miss May, and she was doing a cover of Catch from Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me.
Love Catch. I haven't heard that in so long.
The hair's dyed black. She's got the eyeliner on and the bright red ruby lipstick. And like as she's introducing the song, like, you may have gathered that I'm going to be doing The Cure from my look today. And I watched that video a couple of hours ago, and I felt like a 12-year-old girl must have felt in like 2006, like when she found like Justin Bieber on YouTube.
Right.
It's like, I am in love with Miss May.
Oh my gosh. See, and this is the thing, like The Cure has so many songs, and I haven't just been swimming in it like I did as a teenager. All you did was say Catch, and I haven't heard Catch in so long, and my whole body went like, oh, Catch is such a good song.
There are so many songs on Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me that I hadn't thought about in a long, long time.
I just love the line, I used to sometimes try to catch her, but I never even caught her name. And it was such a sweet song. Is 6 Different Ways on Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me?
I don't think so.
That was another... Anyway, we're just going to spin away in like songs we love by The Cure. I have to go watch that now. Miss May? Okay.
There's also like How Beautiful You Are is on that one. That's a weird song. That's what The Cure kind of like, when I was like first introduced to The Cure, like the music heads that I was hanging around told me like, oh, all of their lyrics are based on French romantic poets, which isn't true.
No, it's
There's
not
just
true.
A couple of them that are, and one of them is How Beautiful You Are.
Okay.
And it's just a lovely little... It's 2 lovers are walking down a street, and they're looking into each other's eyes, and then they meet a family, and it's a father and his 2 sons, and I looked up the lyrics just earlier, but like the father says, "Look how beautiful you are, look in your eyes," and the other son says, "Look how beautiful you are," and then the kid says, "Oh yeah, you are beautiful," and then the lover turns to her lover and says something along the lines of, "Why are these people staring at me? Like, I don't want to be looked at this way."
Oh my gosh.
Because the song opens up with the line, "Do you want to know why I hate you? Well, I'll try to explain."
Yes.
And then he tells that story, and it ends with, "So that's why I hate you, because you don't see yourself the way the world sees you." Oh. Which, like, have you ever been talking to a depressed person?
Yes.
Just like, why are you so down on yourself?
I do not know how wonderful you are. It's so annoying. And it's, to the person who's depressed, it's very dismissive. They're like, you're not hearing me, but like, yeah, it's frustrating.
That was based on a poem by a French romantic poet, but as far as I know, I don't think any other Cure songs were.
Okay.
I
They
wasn't able
felt
to find
so
anything
personal to me. Like, I feel like he writes from the heart. Like, these are all very, very personal songs.
They're absolutely like specifically. There are certain specific Cure songs, Just Like Heaven being one of them. It's just like, this is the soundtrack to my life. I don't know what I would feel like inside if I'd never heard that song.
So, Ben, it's so funny. Years ago, me and my friend Jenny Johnson were on the Whiskey Brothers podcast, and we were talking about my love for The Cure, and I was kind of drunk, and I was kind of kidding, but I was like, guys, he wrote my feelings.
He did.
They all laughed so hard, they named the episode He Wrote My Feelings. And so Jenny and Slade and Rob will every now and then be like, he wrote my feelings. But I know exactly what you mean. Like when I was a teenager reading these lyrics, I'm like, yes, yes,
Yeah.
this is what I feel.
That's the brush he paints with. He paints with my tears and my blood.
All right, you got anything else on Just Like Heaven?
I think that's just about all of it. I think we got it all out.
I think we did. Okay, I'll get to the Patreon stuff. So our Dressed Up Like a Douche today comes from comedian Dan Perlman. He doesn't follow the podcast. Maybe he does now. But our friend Sarah Talamash saw a tweet from him and pointed it out to me, and I asked him if we could use it. He had just randomly tweeted, thought that Beatles song, Can't Buy Me Love, was cat puppy love till I was probably... till he was like 15 years old. He goes, still prefer my version. Cat puppy love. Well, that's cute.
That's absolutely adorable.
I know, right?
I'm going to be singing that for the
Cat
whole rest of
puppy
it.
love. Yeah, that's how I'm going to sing it from now on. I love misheard song lyrics. Okay, it is time for Guilty Pleasures.
Guilty pleasures.
I have a guilty pleasure.
Okay.
This is a great song. It's a totemic song. It's an iconic song. I'm only casting it as a guilty pleasure song because I'm embarrassed. Like I really do seek this song out in times of conflict.
Okay.
Like when I know that I'm going to go have an argument or I'm preparing to, like I got to go light somebody up, like this has to be dealt with.
Okay.
I will listen to Mama Said Knock You Out.
Oh my God.
I absolutely do.
Oh my gosh, LL Cool J in the house. I'm gonna knock you out.
Mama Said Knock You Out.
I feel like that Eminem song, well, there's an Eminem song that gets me pumped in kind of that same vein, that Lose Yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same like feeling where I'm like, all right, I got my dukes up. Yeah. Fucking tell them like it is.
It's time. Can't back down.
Well, that's a great one. It's a fun song. LL Cool J was great.
I never really knew too much about him, other than I don't think I can name another LL Cool J song. Maybe I can.
What's the one about the girl? I can't get Bobby Brown's Roni out of my head. It's not Roni. Crap, we'll have to come back to that. Okay, my guilty pleasure song this week, going back to my, it's not rap, it's not R&B. Well, I guess it's rap. Yeah, it's rap. It's, it was the B-side to Salt-N-Pepa's Push It. Everybody knows Push It.
Yep.
Flip that thing over, which they don't even have that anymore. I think this generation's like, what's a B-side? Like, we used to have these things called records or singles you'd have on tape. Flip side, the B-side of Push It was a little song called Tramp, and I can rap every word to Tramp. It's great, and I was gonna do Tramp when we did the Beyonce song, because it's about, that song's about cheating. This guy's just about, a tramp. Like, homegirls, attention you must pay, so listen close to what I say. You don't have to hear me right now do the whole song. We have a little special gift for our Patreon. I remembered that when I was a teenager, I was obsessed with making music videos with my friends on the VHS camcorder. And we did music videos to Just Like Heaven and Depeche Mode. And me and my friend Nancy Roper did a video to Tramp, Salt-N-Pepa's Tramp. And today I brought it over to Ben's. It was on a DVD. My mom converted all those VHS videos to DVD. I have to get them on my computer. But we played it on the TV, and I filmed it with my phone, and we did commentary.
It's an early 90s time capsule.
Oh my gosh, it's embarrassing. But we recorded it, and we're going to let the Patreon viewers watch it and listen. The sound is really bad. I don't even know how well you can hear the music, but you can definitely hear us making fun of me.
I want to, your courage is incredible.
Oh, thank you.
If there was any video of 15-year-old me singing and dancing and doing an air band, which I'm sure there is.
With a blush brush.
It's not seeing the light of day. I will burn it. I will burn it like your diaries.
So what I told Ben, I was like, to make this even, you should consider cracking open one of your diaries and taking a photo of one of your most excruciating love poems or something that you've written.
Which, all right, I'll do.
Okay.
I'll promise you I'll do it. I'll go looking for there's reams of them.
And let's leave it for Patreon people. Like, this shit is hard for me to look at, probably hard for him to look at. So if you want to see it, you gotta pay for it.
So revealing.
Guilty pleasures.
Okay, speaking of Patreon, our songs that they will be voting on for Thursday's episode will be 3 songs from the Rolling Stones. They will be voting on Under My Thumb, Sympathy for the Devil, or Paint It Black. And we have already put it up for the Patreon, and Sympathy for the Devil has a hard lead right now. So if you want us to do Under My Thumb or Paint It Black, you're going to have to get in there and vote.
I kind of want to squirm away from Sympathy for the Devil.
Yeah. It has a good story.
It does. It does.
But yeah, I think they're all fun. I think they're all great. So anyway, that's your homework. And a little bit of business, all right? If you guys want to join the Patreon, go to patreon.com/rockthecashbar. We only have 1 tier, and it's $5 a month. With that, you will get some cool Rock the Cash Bar swag. And like we said, a chance to vote on Thursday songs. I posted the link to our Spotify playlist, which has every song we cover, as well as the Guilty Pleasure songs on our website. And the website is rockthecashbarpodcast.com. Thank you for tuning in. New episodes every Monday and Thursday. If you have a misheard song lyric you'd like us to read on the podcast, email us at rockthecashbarpodcast@gmail.com. Tweet us, Facebook, message us, find us on all the things. Let us know. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you on Thursday.
Dancing, feeling, itching, screaming, fever, feeling hot, hot, hot.
Vogue.
Vogue.